This is The Daily Rule. I'm your host, Bryce Prescott, and welcome to your insider access to the mindset, skill sets, and habits of the truly successful. These rules of success are short 10 to 15 minute messages, making it easy to consume and share for maximum impact. Here's today's Daily Rule. Hey, what's going on, my friends? Welcome back. This, of course, is your host, Bryce Prescott. For those of you watching the video, I'm a little bit more casual today. You've seen me do all the suits and all that stuff, and I just wasn't feeling it. I figured, you know what? You've seen me enough in my videos doing my signature Dodger hat and V-neck that why not, you know? I'll be back in the suits in no time. But in today's episode, I wanted to talk about something that I need to raise this up a little bit. Talk about something that I've seen. I was reminded of this phrase, this way of describing things recently, and it just opened up my mind, and I wanted to share it with you guys here as a part of the Daily Rule. But before I get into that, as you know, if you have enjoyed the podcast, if you've gotten any value out of it, if it's sparked an idea that you've been able to execute and to add into your regimen, please, there's a couple of different ways that you can show love back to the show. Leaving a 5-star rating and review on iTunes is one way. The link for that is in the show notes. Additionally, I invite you to be a part of my free Daily Rule Facebook group. Again, the link to that is in the show notes. Sharing this with your friends. If you want to see if there's a fit for any coaching opportunities, whether it be in my group or as a one-on-one client, you can go to applythescience.com and check that out. I'm about making this planet better, and it takes doing that with each individual one at a time. And so let's do this. Anyway, hopefully you're getting something out of the show. Obviously, why would you be listening or watching? Additionally, if you're watching this on the Facebook Live, engage, share, blah, blah, blah. You know all the deal. Anyway, back to the reason why you guys are here and listening. So there comes a point... I've been a little bit kind of on both sides of the fence when it comes to where I've gotten the messages for this podcast. I've done messages about, trying to get to the place where you are succeeding. And I've done messages about once you are, how to handle that sort of challenge that comes from success and abundance and pushing back against or reprogramming your inner critic so that you're not, getting yourself into a position where you're experiencing financial abundance, physical abundance, relationship abundance. And then you're like, I can't handle this. I'm not worthy. And you sabotage yourself. So, today's one of those things where it's kind of an in-between sort of thought. And it's based along this principle that's called the Sunken Cost Fallacy. See, one of the aspects of creating a life that you love, one that you're proud of, and that one that you can scale to the point to where you feel like you're leaving a legacy, like it's bigger than you. You've created something that's not just about you, but it's about your message, your intention, your just contribution back, is that you're going to be doing things when you feel like you're in the dark about it. You've started, you felt the inspirational push, you're doing it, you took action, all that, and then you haven't reached the intended outcome yet, but you're in the doldrums of the middle. And it's lonely, and it's dark, and you don't know if what you're doing is right. All the demons come into play, the feelings of unworthiness. Am I doing this right? I've experienced this even in just my comedy career. I'm not even funny. What am I doing? I'm too old to be getting to this. All the negative self-talk that comes when you're in the middle of this, this process to get to that clear vision of your future, that place where you want to go. Now, I need to be real though. Like sometimes you're doing the wrong thing. That's a fact. Like sometimes we get in it for the right reason, and then for whatever reason we get pushed and pulled and influenced into tracks and ways of achieving our goals that will never actually get us there. And but we keep at it because we've already invested so much. I got to see this through. It's what's called the sunken cost fallacy. It's a lie, a fallacy in that you think that because you're so deep into it, you should keep going because I'm this far already, might as well. I've seen this happen in businesses where people will not have a scalable business. Their product stinks, their service is lackluster, the team to which is associated with their business is not something that you would ever scale or be able to grow, and they just keep throwing more money at it. We've been doing it this long already. They think that the tale that's coming back to them, that the reality of what they're seeing isn't actually real. And they're like, well, I might as well just, keep at it, keep going. There's this, and we see all this noise around us in our culture about how you just can't quit. Like quitters are quitters, and you never want to be a quitter, and you got to persevere, and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's true admonition, and that's a great idea. However, don't discount your intuition. There's a difference between your intuition and your fears. If your intuition is telling you this is not going to work and it's not sustainable, you need to be able to discern between that being coming from your fear or coming from your intuition, because sometimes it takes a little bit of delusion to be able to succeed and to get to the point where we want to go. But that delusion can cause us to be delusional. I know it sounds silly, and so we keep throwing good money after bad. We keep giving good energy after bad. The results aren't working. We have proof it's not going to work. It's not what we should be doing. And we still keep throwing it. We are sinking more cost into this lie. Hence the name, Sunken Cost Fallacy. And it's one of the most challenging aspects of pushing yourself that exists. Because it comes with opposing ideas. It comes with like, well, this isn't really what I'm like. This is just my fear. This is my negative self-talk. I've got to keep it. It's going to keep going. It's going to work eventually. Well, it's in this moment where you find out who you really are. And you find out how blurry the line is between your clear vision and your fear. Because like I've said many times before, when you have that clear vision of where you want to go, oftentimes the path to get there will change. And even more so, sometimes you'll be along the path to that clear vision and you'll realize along that path, I don't want this anyway. What I thought I wanted, I don't want. You're learning more about what it is that you truly were seeking, and you realize it's not for you. And so you course correct and you change, and it opens up a whole new world for you. The whole point of me sharing this today is I wanted to, first of all, let you know you're not alone when you feel like this sucks and I don't need to be doing this. Sometimes it's a relationship that you just know doesn't have a future. Sometimes it's a business that's ran its course and there's no more place for it in the market. You've been outsourced. You just can't succeed and you just don't want to admit it to yourself. Sometimes it's even diets and fads and things with your fitness where you're like, I'm over this. This isn't healthy. I can't keep up with this. I'm hating it. I'm miserable all the time. You know, when I transitioned from the mortgage business in 2007 and early 2008 into the equity firm that I ran, where we were buying all of that post-foreclosed real estate, I was in the middle of this quandary, this sunken cost fallacy. I had been doing mortgage loans and had a team of people for years, and it was great. And it was during one of the easiest times in our history of doing mortgages. Making great money, providing options for people to refinance and purchase homes, creating team members to where they could have abundance. It was a great thing going. But there was too much easy credit. There was too much easy money that was being taken advantage of. And there was this looming crisis, this looming credit crisis, this mortgage crash that, if I'm honest with myself, I saw the signs. I just didn't want to admit that those signs were going to do, because, hey, housing never goes down in the history of our country. It always appreciates. They would never, the people, the powers that be would never allow this type of free money into the market unless they knew. They're smarter than me. And even though my intuition was like, dude, it's a house of cards, man. A friend of mine approached me in early 2008 about a transition into a new opportunity. Even though I thought I should do it in the moment, I turned it down because I couldn't intellectually connect that it is what I should be doing. It took me going 5 months later to a seminar in Los Angeles, seeing this new business model that my partner, my soon-to-be partner, had shared with me 5 months prior, working through somebody else and watching this be a viable option, while in the midst of all of this evidence that my livelihood was about to be done with because of the mortgage crash. So The whole point of this sunken cost fallacy reminder is that sometimes it's okay to quit. Sometimes you know for sure this isn't gonna work. And it's completely fine to shut it down. I'm just saying. This hustle grind, Gary V crap, we get caught up in it. And we don't see past the motivations from the people that are sharing with us this nonsense. And so we take it as our truth when we shouldn't. I know that the people that listen to this show are smart, savvy. You get it. Trust yourself. Trust your ability to make a decision that's best for you and your family. And let things go. That's when it's hardest, you know? That's the true measure of a person, is when things are good. And you know they're never going to be great unless you make a massive shift. And almost every time, those massive shifts include cutting something out, changing, quitting, moving on in some capacity. Like I said, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a business, maybe it's a job. But anyway, my friends, I'm going to let this go. This is today's message. Don't be afraid to quit. Sometimes you know what's best, and honor that. I can't sit here as the host and producer of The Daily Rule, and I can't tell you that you create your life and that you create your results, and there's all these swirling things about you having that what you want, and not as well remind you how empowered you are to just cut the cord sometimes when it needs to be cut loose. Stop throwing good money after bad, good energy after bad, good love after bad. Allow yourself to know that your intuition's on point and just to take action. So my friends, I'm going to wrap it up here. You know the drill. Love your life, live out loud, and like I always say, until next time, take it a day at a time. I'm out. Thank you for joining me for another episode of The Daily Rule. If you'd like assistance applying today's rule to your life, I invite you to click the link in the show notes and download my free assessment tool, The 3 Methods, that helps you to know exactly where you should focus your attention for the quickest transformation. As you're aware, the opportunities to be coached directly by me are limited, but if you'd like to see if you're a fit for us to transform your performance and your mindset together, making your life exactly what you've always hoped it would be, reach out to me at bryce@rulesofsuccess.com. Also, if today's episode resonated with you, I ask that you please head to iTunes and leave me a 5-star rating and review. That link is also in the show notes. Thanks again for joining me for The Daily Rule.